Hey Scorpio, this is Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and I'm trying to adjust on that. This just in. This is where we get all up in other folks' business as it pertains to love and relationships. This reading will be good for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and or Rising. And let me just put out there that this is a general reading. And it will not resonate with everybody. How you guys doing, Scorpio? The moon is in your sign. It's the perfect weather for that. Over the weekend we had 80s, probably almost 90s. As soon as the moon started to move into Scorpio, the temperature dropped. It got gray. It started to rain. I'm like, geez. Being that I'm a Scorpio moon, thinking that I know how to deal. Sometimes I can deal, sometimes I can't. Even though that's my natal moon, when the moon is in Scorpio, it can be very hit or miss for me. So, Scorpio, I try to do the heavy shuffling off camera when I'm making, all the noise and stuff like that. And it's like the cards didn't, it was like I couldn't hold them. It was like trying to hold a wet fish. So I don't know what's going on with you guys, Scorpio, this month. I know Jupiter is retrograde in your sign, and I don't know how everybody's feeling that. I don't want to make any determination as to how I'm feeling it as of yet. I think I'm gonna wait till it's over.
Venus time.
Okay, it is. The planetary hour is Venus. That's what you just heard. My phone makes an announcement. Oh, Venus is about our money, creativity, what we're attracted to. And the planetary day is Moon. It's Monday. The Moon rules Monday. So we've got Moon Venus energy going on right now. And Scorpio, with that type of energy, and I'm doing your reading at this point, sometimes Moon Venus could be about having to take care of somebody. And maybe that's emotionally, maybe that's physically. Sometimes you feel a responsibility of having to take care of, having to put a lot of effort into your domestic affairs. You could be feeling that today with the Venus. I'm sorry, with the moon ruling the day. There's a little piece of something on there. And at this point with Venus controlling the hour. I hope I got these cards. I can't. So we are going to pull 3 cards because, as you all know, I am a 3-card junkie. And let's see what we got going on. I guess I'll go ahead and put this one back in because I needed the room. So the first card is the Sun reverse. Okay, feeling pooped. Pay attention to your health, Scorpio. We'll get into that in a minute. It's the 19th major arcana. The next is the 3 of Swords reversed. Right? And the last card is the 4 of Swords reversed. Looking at this card, Scorpio, this 4 of Swords reversed, if we want to talk Scorpio archetypes and what people think about Scorpios, it's perfect. It's a little voodoo doll, and looks like somebody's about to poke it. Scorpio, kind of what I feel for you right now is that you might be putting fun on the back burner. With the sun reversed, this could be about um, questionable health, lack of success, your life force seems low, just kind of tired and not feeling quite like self. The other thing, though, is I'm feeling that the sun is coming up reversed in this particular reading because Scorpios like to hide out in dark places. Scorpios don't really want to, I'm sorry. Scorpios don't always want to be seen, and the sun illuminates more than anything. When the sun comes up, when we're in our homes and things like that, we generally don't have the lights on because the sun gives us all the light that we need. When the sun is out, you generally can't escape the light. And sometimes Scorpio is, not necessarily interested in the light. Scorpio, I feel like this is not so much about your health or your successes. I feel like it is you doing something in the dark. The reason that's okay is because it's you, and that's what you were built to do. Being secretive doesn't necessarily have to be manipulative or malicious or sneaky. It can be, certainly. But I just feel like, Scorpio, for you, you feel like whatever it is that's going on with you, you're operating better under the radar. And fortunately for you, in this case, it doesn't cause you heartbreak. There is no betrayal. If you have been heartbroken or felt betrayed in the past, if you felt like somebody was stabbing you in the heart, I think you may find out under the cover of darkness, under the cloak of darkness, feel like somebody might be telling you something in secret that makes you feel a whole lot better about the relationships that you might be in, the relationship that you're pursuing. You may have felt at one point as if somebody was coming between you and somebody that you were dealing with, or maybe somebody felt that way about you. And if this is somebody who felt that way about you, I feel like maybe somebody initially thought that maybe you just didn't cut for them that much. Cut is a word we use for those of you who don't know when we like somebody. And swords cut, right? So somebody may have felt like you didn't cut for them that much, or maybe they are feeling like that in the month of April. But it's really not true. I think what it is that you've been kind of holding back on what you have to say. Or maybe somebody's been holding back on what they have to say. And now things are kind of coming to the forefront. Somebody's getting a little restless mentally, and they might be willing to take drastic measures in order to get this relationship on track. Because, there is no heartbreak, there is no betrayal, there is no something or someone between you and this person. Scorpio, even if you guys are involved in some clandestine affairs, oh, wow. Ooh. I hate to say, Scorpio, that you could be forcing somebody else out of the picture. Or this, there may be somebody that you're dealing with who's forcing somebody out of your picture. And where this was something that was unspoken in the past, I just think that, because these are all reverse cards, so this is repressed, because this is swords, it's communication and things like that. And this is, of course, like I said, it's a little bit of a loss of life force. And for Scorpio, I just think for you, it's just doing things in your natural habitat, which is in the dark. Um, if you turn all of these cards around, I feel like that maybe things that you saw or things that were on the surface, the things that were visible to you, made you hurt. And it caused you to withdraw and really, really think about things, because what you were seeing, um, Scorpio, I kind of feel like you were seeing what looked like, for those of you who are involved in some secretive relationships, I think that you were seeing things maybe with that other person and what was going on in their lives, and it looked like they were having all of this fun without you. But it wasn't true. This person was heartbroken, or this person really wasn't into, or it really wasn't what you thought it was. All of that greatness, all of that cuteness, smiles on pictures, and stuff like that. It looked successful. It looked great. It looked like it was the end all be all, but it really wasn't. I hate to say, Scorpio, you may have been feeling bitter about what looked like somebody else's success, but you kept quiet about it because you were thinking about it a lot. So let's go ahead and turn these cards back into the reverse, which I'm just feeling like your little heart suffered for nothing. And, like I said, under the cloak of darkness, there will be words spoken. There will be new ideas and new ways of communication, new ways of thinking that are going to come forth, that are going to make you feel a whole lot better about what's going on with you. Now, let me put on my disclaimer, because I mentioned clandestine relationships. Listen, I actually have different views about legal contracts between two people that may or may not love each other. If you want to know my personal opinion, I think it's bullshit. And I'm married. But I think it's bullshit. You sign a piece of paper to say that, that person is mine and I'm theirs. Get the fuck out of here with that. No. People swear by this piece of paper. And sure, you put energy into it when you signed on the dotted line. You put energy into it, but it's not natural. It's not natural. I am not condoning having affairs or clandestine relationships, but in my opinion, clandestine relationships don't necessarily have to be about the fact that there is a third person involved. But unfortunately, with this Three of Swords, there was. It's just the truth. But clandestine relationships can be just about relationships that you just don't want anybody in your business, and therefore you keep your stuff quiet and you keep it hidden. Just because you don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't post all of your heartbreaks and disappointments on Facebook or Twitter and that kind of crap. It's just not something that you do. That's what this could be about. It doesn't necessarily have to be about cheating. It could be about keeping your business to yourself, and therefore you stay away from heartbreak and judgment and people criticizing you and putting you under a microscope about what it is that you're doing with your bed partner. That is BS. Scorpio, for those of you who decide to keep your business to yourself, you are not required to tell somebody what you do behind closed doors. And in this case, nobody else is getting hurt as a result. And I'm sorry, I sure didn't mean, ooh, look, this is all out of frame. I didn't mean to, yes, I did. I'm not apologizing for shit. That's the way it is. And that's the way I see it, Scorpio. So if anybody would like to get a personal reading with me, my information should be in the description box. And I hope to talk to you guys again next month.